thank you so much for coming today to the Posing Portal seminar. It means a lot for you guys coming. Today we're obviously going to discuss loads of different things. We'll go through bikini. I know a few people are wellness as well, so we'll go through both categories. At the moment, we'll just probably talk through just the criteria and all that type of thing in general, and then we'll go through a full show day scenario of like everything, so everyone can kind of get the idea of what it feels like to be on stage, if that makes sense. Who's competed before? Oh, quite a few. Nice. And then who's not competed before? Okay, good. So it's kind of like, it's good. So yeah, so we'll go through kind of everything so everyone can kind of understand what it is like and all that type of thing. And then we'll do a mini Q&A if you feel like you need to ask any questions and all that type of thing. So, I mean, who's wellness here? 3. Okay, cool, perfect. And then the rest of bikini. Sweet. So obviously today is based on NPC and IFBB style posing. So I'll kind of discuss what bikini is like first, and then we'll obviously go through the wellness style. So bikini is obviously, you know, the not the lower level, but the first level entering into the NPC. And you have 2 based poses. So you've got your front pose and you've got your back pose, and obviously your transitions nicely in between. So what we want to try and do today is find your best front pose, because you can do either left or your right side. So I think a lot of people sometimes get confused and think, oh, I need to do, you know, both sides. Like, do I need to, you know, hit both in my routine? In my opinion, you just need to hit your favorite side, your best side, showing off your best, you know, glutes, waistline, shoulder line, all that type of thing. And then that's all the judges need to say, if that makes sense. So that's what we're going to try and find today with everyone. And then back pose is obviously feet around hip width apart, hands on the hips, hair covering the back, all that sort of thing. So we can just show off that nice X frame from the back, showing off the glutes, accentuating the shoulders and all that type of thing. So I'm going to have Jess over here. And if you can, we'll kind of go through each pose. We'll go through the front pose for bikini, and we'll go through the back pose and stuff of bikini as well. So we can kind of just have a look at how it all looks and stuff like that in general. I mean, overall, like we said, the poses need to be as balanced as they can. So we want to try and show off the shoulders in the best way possible. And I'll kind of obviously, like I said, show with Jess how we want to try and accentuate your waistline, your glutes, all that type of thing. Because I think it's very easy to, you know, think, okay, let's sit into here loads and let's flex this loads, but it needs to look as natural as possible. So in bikini and wellness, posing needs to be effortless, even though you're doing loads and you're probably tired from dieting and stuff like that, but it needs to look effortless. It needs to look easy, if that makes sense, which is sometimes not. So, but yeah, we can kind of go through that.
We got a new project. Your friends like Colombo. You be the judge like rival. Gotta stop on the convo. We got a new project. Your friends like Colombo. You be the judge like rival.
So yeah, I would know. So yeah, she was like, is that right? I would say no. So I would say we always want to try and stay elongated as much as we can. Like, we want to try and keep this part of the torso just straight up. We don't ever want to kind of crunch or anything like that. Again, in wellness, you can sit into the hips a little bit more, but again, you still want to try and keep that torso as like not crunched at all, really. We want to try and elongate it as much as we can. Because if you go into your front pose for me, so when we do that, like I was saying before, this curve is really important because it shows off the shape. If we then, I don't know, just try and sit into your hips really low, there you go, there we go. So you can see it just is completely like crunched down, and it doesn't really show off this waistline at all. It makes the waistline come out here more. So we want to try and keep that nice and straight up, if that makes sense. So I would always try and say, keep it nice and straight. So when you've come around to here, don't lean it here, because then again, you're accentuating the glutes too much in your here, unless you're in this position. But even when you're here, don't be like here, if that makes sense. It's still like straight up. We can see the curves from the lower back, and then we can keep them to there, if that makes sense. Say, choose the front pose first before then obviously going through the transitions, or try and make sure that you know which front pose you prefer first versus going through practicing both. And I mean, it's not the worst thing practicing both anyway, but try and figure out which side is better, so then you can get used to that side, if that makes sense. I think in the moment it's atmosphere and it's adrenaline. So try, and if you can, when you're on side stage, really lengthen it out for as long as you can, just in the front pose. If you need to, kind of relax it a little bit, keep things tight, obviously, but I'm not saying like relax just like this, but like kind of fully pose. But I would say less movement is better. You can move, they're not going to mock you now. Oh, she moved. Yeah, we'll go through everything, what we've just gone through today, and then at the end we're going to go through a big show day scenario so you can kind of understand all of that as well. Perfect. And if you take like one of your chairs and like put it at the back, that would be amazing.
We got a new project. Your friends like Colombo. You be the judge like rival. Gotta stop on the convo. We got a new project. Your friends like Colombo. You be the judge like rival.
So now we're going to do a little show day scenario. So what we're going to do is kind of run through your routine, and then we're going to kind of run through everything and just get you pretty much feeling confident with how you need to look on stage and stuff like that. If that makes sense? Yes. So that's exactly what we're going through. So that's exactly what we're going to go through. So let's have a quick a few minutes if you need a water or anything like that, and then we're going to go from there. Here to here to here, if that makes sense. So it's not too slow, not too fast. Oh wait, 1 second. Good, okay. And we walk across the stage. Good, so make sure your head's to the front of the mirrors. Good, nice. Make sure you have nice arm movement. Good. So that's ultimately what we want to try and look like. Good job. So we want to try and do that and obviously walk across the front of the stage again. You could see they're all kind of in line, which was great. Again, you're not going to be lined up like that, but it's just to get an idea of obviously how everyone's walking. Does that make sense? The next 5. So you're here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So make sure your head's to the front. Look towards the mirrors. Good. Nice. Good. A little bit more arm movement if possible. There you go. Nice. Good. Heads to the front. Nice. And relax. Okay, good. So that's ultimately what you'll be doing. That kind of speed, a lot of you are pretty consistent. That's the speed you want to do to when you walk to the X for your routine. And also if you're on the side of the stage getting called up to the front, that's also you want to try and that type of speed as well, if that makes sense. Any questions with that at all? Okay, cool. So that mainly what I saw was obviously the upper bodies. It's hard to twist the upper body a bit to the front. So I would say try and, if you can, try and have, a little bit of your waistline if needed, a little bit more diagonal, diagonal versus completely to the side. So I think because a lot of you were like this, try and allow that a little bit open, not massively because I don't want you to be turned like this, but a little bit open so we can see a bit of this half of the midsection, and then it's easier to twist the upper body to the front, if that makes sense. Yeah? Any questions with that at all? All good? So if everyone comes this side, leg, good, good, and there we go, okay. When you have your bikini on, when you're facing there, it's gonna kind of be in this position here. So if you do your front pose, you can see that number, and that's what you wanna ultimately try and focus on, if that makes sense, yeah? You're then going to sign it off and complete your routine. So you're going to be here, you step it back and put the hand up, down, and then you walk it off. So the hand, the sign off, I think, again, everyone wants to make it really extravagant and, something, just wanting to make it nice and simple. Hand up and down, making sure obviously the waistline is nice and tight like we were showing before. Hand up, down, nice and clean, and then you walk off from there. If that makes sense. So what we're going to do now is exactly that. And we're going to do a routine individually for every single person. Into the middle. Good. And front pose. Good. And we hold for 1, 2. Transition 1, 2. 1, 2. Transition 1, 2. Good. Hold for 1, 2. Transition 1, 2. 1, 2. Transition 1, 2. Good. And we sign it off. So step it back. Hand up, down, and walk it off. Good, nice, that was really, really good. Good job. Good, that was really good. Okay, next person. And then to sign it off, you're here, step it back, hand up, other hand here, yeah, hand up, down, yeah, nice, okay, good job, nice. Okay, so, is that everyone? Everyone? Great job, ladies, that was really good. That was really nice. Okay, so that's what you'll be doing ultimately when you walk on stage. I know it's obviously awkward and you're like, oh my God, this is so like scary. I don't know anyone here, but you can see it's not that bad. I know it's the fear of doing it when you're in front of everyone by themselves, but you want to try and make sure that you focus on like putting yourself out there a little bit more, not feeling like scared, because it's going to be not 10 times worse, but it will be exactly like that. The judges will be in front of you, you don't know them. The audience will be there, most of the audience you won't know. So you want to try and make sure that you just get out there and kind of like not feel embarrassed, because it's easy to feel embarrassed, but everyone here they're here for the exact same reason. No one's going to judge you at all. So that was your individuals. Again, like we said, we want to try and stick to that 1-2 tempo. Same with wellness. You want to try and stick to that 1-2 tempo. Some of you obviously were a little bit slower in your routines, but that's also fine. The 1-2 tempo is a guide. Obviously, it helps you not kind of stay in the poses for like 6 seconds or 5 seconds or something like that. So you want to try and hold for 1-2, transition 1-2. Helps you just keep a good flow, if that makes sense. Any questions about the routine or anything at all? All good? Okay, so what we're gonna do is go through a show day scenario now. So once you've done your routine, so that's the first thing you'll do with NPC, you'll come on, you'll do your routine, you'll walk and you'll stand on the side of the stage, which you can see the lovely lines across here, and that's what you're gonna ultimately do. Then what they'll do is pull you from your numbers, and obviously that's why you always wanna try and remember what your numbers are, because they're gonna say your numbers, and that's what you wanna try and then walk to the front and then hit your front pose and do, if that makes sense. So what we're gonna try and do is run through a little bit of that show day scenario so you can kind of get the idea of it and then kind of go from there. Does that make sense? Any questions at all? No? All good? Okay, so I'm going to get 10 of you this side and then 10 of you this side. You want to try and always direct your number towards Lucy. So if you're on this side, you want to try and obviously always try and make sure your number is facing towards her, if that makes sense. And if you're obviously in wellness, again, it's the same as before, standing in your front pose. Wellness, you have the option of doing your side pose if you want to, or you can do your front pose. Like either one isn't an issue because you're still showing off your shape towards the judges, if that makes sense. Just never do your back pose, obviously, in this position, because I have seen some girls try to hit the back pose in this position, but it's just kind of pointless. So you may as well just hit the front shot so you can kind of go from there, if that makes sense. 86 and 60. Good, nice. You just walk to the front, nice and calm. Good, yeah, perfect, nice. And then if you need to, come to the middle. Good, nice. Good. So remember, even if you're on the end at this point, facing towards the center judge. Good. So your number will always be directed towards the front, if that makes sense. Good. So in this position, you can be held from up to 10, 15, sometimes 20 seconds. So what I always try and say is practice posing stamina, practice holding your pose for 10, 15 seconds, then facing the back. So obviously right now I've just held you there for about 10, 15 seconds. So from here, and ladies, please face the back. Good. Nice. We go forwards and round. Good. And then we go into back pose. Good. Nice. And hold here. Good. So even when you're in your back pose, you want to try and make sure that if you can, if you're on the end of the line, try and make sure you're facing your pose towards the judge. So remember, like I said, obviously I know I don't have a line, so I do apologize about that, but you want to try and always make sure that you are in line with each other, if that makes sense. Good. Obviously, what you will focus on is being on the line. Never focus on obviously other people, like, oh, she's forward, so I'm going to stand here. Good. Okay, so number 100 and number 169, please swap. Good. And then you walk it forwards and round. Nice. Good. And then back into your front poses. Good. Nice. And one more time, ladies, please face the back. Good. And ladies, please turn around and face the front. Good. And thank you, ladies. You can now leave the stage. You step it back, hand up, down, and you walk it off. Good. Perfect. Okay, cool. Nice. So yeah, really good job today, ladies. Thank you so much for coming. There you go. Thank you so much. Yeah, and if you wanted to have any questions, I have some waist trainers and stuff here, because I know a few people have asked for and has some. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, if you want any photos as well, I'll stick around for photos and stuff. No worries. There we go. No, of course. Yes, of course. Let's go for it. Okay, we have just finished the Posing Portal seminar. Thank you guys so much for coming. It really means a lot. And it was absolutely incredible. Like it warms my heart when I have to do seminars. And I won't lie, I do get very nervous when I first do seminars, but I realize how much I love doing this and how much I love coaching all of you. So thank you so much for coming if you did come, and be on the watch out if you do want to have any, go to any seminars or come to any seminars in the future. Head to theposingportal.com, and we have some very, very special news coming very soon, I promise. I know it's been a very long time me saying this, but it's coming and it's going to be incredible. So I'm very, very excited. So yes, love you guys so much. Okay, so this is me looking a little bit different, which is kind of cool, but hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So obviously you saw me doing my posing seminar, which was a few days ago now. So today is the 9th of August and I've just finished up a photo shoot with Laura Skye and Danny Spencer, which, oh my God, I've just got to kind of tell you about this really. It's probably one of the best photo shoots I've ever done. And don't get me wrong, I don't do photo shoots like often because I'm not that type of, it's funny because I'm not that type of person who likes getting photo or doing photo shoots, which is quite funny because I get on stage for a living. That was very close for me cancelling because I was like, I didn't feel sexy, I didn't feel good, I didn't like, not body wise, but for my own personal self, I don't feel sexy. I don't like feel that ever really, unless I'm on stage. So doing like normal photo shoots and you know, things like that, it's really out of my comfort zone, it really is. So it was amazing to be able to do like something like this because I got so much confidence from it and I felt so good. So if you're from the UK, definitely 100% go to Laura Skye, and it was probably one of the best photo shoots I've ever done. Like I felt so confident, I felt so good. And like I said, I was so close to cancelling it because I just didn't feel great like the weeks, like, well, not even weeks, but like the days coming up to it, you know? So, but this is my full face of makeup from Danielle Spencer. So thank you so much, Danny, for getting doing my makeup for me. She's honestly the best. I really appreciate her. She's done a lot of my makeup looks and she's done my makeup quite a few times. So I love it so much. So thank you both of you. Made me feel honestly the best, like so good. So we are now in London. So we are now traveling down for the True Athlete show, which is this weekend. Right now it's Wednesday and the weekend kind of starts tomorrow. So it's athlete check-in tomorrow. Friday, I actually have my own seminar at this event, kind of going through all things bikini. So if you're there, hopefully you were there, comment down below if you were there and you saw me. And then Sunday, I will be heading back up and we'll be going to see Max's family, spend time with family a little bit before he goes to Texas and before I go to Canada. So I've finally kind of said to you guys where I'm going for my second trip. So obviously from Dubai to here, from here to Canada, and then from Canada to Miami, and then Miami, Vegas. So it's a very big trip, but I didn't know when I could kind of disclose why I'm going to Canada. I will kind of talk to you about why I'm in Canada when I'm in Canada. So it's gonna be really fun. So very excited for it. If you are from Canada, please comment down below because I will be offering one-to-one in-person posing as well. So if you wanted anything, contact me in the comments. But apart from that, I'm super impressed with this Airbnb that we got last minute as well because there was a mix up with our like accommodation and stuff for this trip, but we ended up getting a very good Airbnb. So this is the bedroom. Please excuse the big mess of clothes. I just tried on some outfits for Saturday. And then the best thing about this is it's got an air fryer. And the hilarious thing is I actually mentioned to the guy we're gonna be there at a bodybuilding show and he left his air fryer here for us. And it's a really good one as well. So thank you so much for that. And then we've got Max, big old space of living room here. We've got a nice little balcony as well, which is great. And then amazingly, we have a office and desk area, which is great as well. Bathroom, and then Max also has his own office kind of over there. This one is mine, which is perfect. So, are you excited for the weekend?
Yes.
Yes. Let's go. Okay, so we are at the London XL Arena for the True Athlete show this weekend, which is super exciting. There's loads of stuff going on today. We've got a seminar today, all things bikini seminar with me, so I'm really excited for it. I'm also super nervous because I just get nervous for these types of things, I always do. So hopefully I see some of you guys there. And then we've got the bikini girls going on tomorrow. We've got the pro show going on tomorrow as well, all the women tomorrow. So I'm really excited. So hopefully I see some of you at the seminar today and some of you at the True Athlete show. I'm good, thanks. How are you? Oh, this is really loud. Yeah, we're going to talk all things bikini right now, just to kind of go through the criteria, the category itself, and if you have any questions, we can obviously go through all of that after. So yeah, my name is Phoebe Hagan. Thank you so much for coming. I've been the Bikini Pro from the UK. I'm an Olympian, did the Olympia last year, currently working towards this year's Olympian, so very excited. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about the criteria in general, what the judges are looking for, the bikini posing, common mistakes within bikini as well, because there's a lot of them that we kind of see throughout the criteria, and then obviously a Q&A if you want to kind of go through things after. So what is the criteria? So we've got some lovely pictures here of Maureen Blanquisco, which is the 2022 Bikini Olympian, or Miss Bikini Olympia. We've got Jennifer Dory, 2021 Miss Bikini Olympia. Ashley Coltswater, 3-time Miss Bikini Olympia, and then we have Laurie Javados, who is a top runner at the Olympia and a lot of high-level shows. So you can see here very, very different, bodies, very, very different shapes. So how can all of them, be the exact same category? Well, what the judges look for is something very, very different, overall. It's a combination of many things which we'll kind of go through, but the main thing we want to try and look at here is a nice balance from top to bottom. So at the moment, when you see these pictures, you can't see kind of, shoulders or just shoulders. You can't see just glutes or just the waistline. Everything's kind of all together. We want to try and make sure that we can show that off. So the criteria in general is mainly based with a good amount of muscle mass. We don't want it to be too overwhelming. We don't want to have too much shoulder, too much glute area. You can see all of them are absolutely beautiful as well. So we want to try and show off a nice overall presentation with everything as well. So, I mean, this is ultimately what we want to look for, balance. So like I said before, balance within every single pose that you do. So you've got all the poses, which again, we'll go through in a second. It's cool, it's really, really cool, but they're only focusing on you moving and your moves and not your actual body, then it's too much. So we want to try and make sure we're just focusing on your body, presenting your body nicely so they can see everything, and then kind of go from there, if that makes sense. So the transitions need to be nice and clean, nothing too complicated if you want to. I've been held for 2 minutes before, like it's a long time. So you want to really make sure that you can, it's almost like cardio for posing. Go through doing too much, because again, if you're doing too much with posing, you're going to get tired, especially if you're in your routine, to know what you need to do for yourself. So really try and focus on your own stuff, on your own prep, posing, everything, because it will be a lot less stress. It's going to be difficult to actually want to get back on stage, So really make sure that you enjoyed the process. I know it sounds silly, but take pictures of everything. Take pictures of yourself, like do selfies, go out and still do things even in prep, because you'll have stuff to look back on. I love bodybuilding for what it is, and regardless of whether I'm getting on stage, if I win or I lose or whatever I do, regardless, I love the process and I love the sport, and that's something we need to focus on more than just the stage, if that makes sense. So for me, I really think that one of the common mistakes I do see is not enjoying the process enough, if that makes sense. Really make sure that you do enjoy it, because it's something that, again, we put a lot into this sport, and if you don't enjoy it, then why are we doing it, And physically, and then obviously we start prepping when the time is right, when we pick a show and that type of thing. Yeah? Amazing. Anyone else have any other questions at all? Yes? Pardon?
What are your plans now with your bodybuilding?
Okay, so my plans for bodybuilding at the moment is I'm prepping for the Olympia at the moment, which is super exciting. And 12 weeks out tomorrow. Proud whatever happens, if I get first, if I get third, if I get whatever I get, I am proud of whatever happens, and then from there we can then improve. And that's what bodybuilding is. I think we all forget that, and it's easy to say, okay, yeah, I'm happy with it. For me, that's the main goal at the moment, and then moving forward, I think what I have, say for example, like 5 years time, for me, this is ultimately what I want to do with bodybuilding, is like try and put on as many seminars as I can and kind of spread my knowledge about this. And about how we can do it in a safe way, how we can do it in a good way, and all that type of thing. So yeah, that's my plans at the moment. Any other questions? Any other questions? All good? No? Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming. It means a lot for me coming. Obviously, I know the bodybuilding show is going on at the same time, so bad timing. But thank you for coming. It means a lot. And yeah, if you wanted to stick around and ask any questions or have any photos, you're more than welcome to. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Smash it.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you. You've come in to I've seen you at every single seminar, so but it means a lot. It really does mean a lot. So thank you so much. So yes, of course.
I listen to your podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. Amazing. Thank you so much for coming. It means a lot. Thank you so much.
I can see my fingers crossed for your Olympia.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for it. So thank you so much. Thank you. They're like, I want a photo too. Amazing. Thank you so much for coming as well. Thank you. Hi. Well, thank you so much for coming. It does mean a lot. So, seminar done. It was really, really nice, and I thank everyone for coming. There was obviously, it's hard because there's a bodybuilding show literally over this way, and obviously everyone's at the bodybuilding show. It was literally the exact same time as the pro show, which is okay. But thank you so much for everyone that did come. It means a lot, like the questions and stuff like that. And I do want to do these seminars more often. Like for me, it's something that I always take huge pride in, that I want to just spread as much knowledge as I can. So massive thank you so much for everyone that did come. And yeah, let's get into the rest of the video. So it is day 2 of the True Athletes show, and I'm very, very excited because today is all about the girls. Today is all about the bikini, wellness, all things girls. So I'm really, really excited. It's 11 o'clock now, so the figure, women's physique have all been on, and then wellness should be going on in about an hour or so. So we're gonna get in there. I have a few athletes. I have one in wellness, and I have a few in the pro show, and one in the bikini show. So very, very excited to see my posing girls. So let's get into it.